What's up? Just getting started on my Monday morning shift. It's 9 AM, but it's the school holidays, so starting late not really going to affect the shift. If anything, this is early for a school holidays. School holiday mornings are notoriously dead, which is why I've just accepted an Uber pet ride. It's paying quite well, to be honest. I'm picking them up from Brixton and taking them into Peckham. Taking Uber pets is a risk because sometimes you can get messy pets or pets that are not very hygienic, so I always check the customer's rating. This customer's rating is 4.7, so it seems reasonable. In Peckham, completed that Uber pet trip not too long ago. It turned out to be a stray, fat and violent cat actually. Worked for a rescue service. Luckily she had a cage and everything, so yeah, a smooth journey, can't complain. 17 minutes, £17, and let's see what comes in. Jobs have been coming in. I've been being a little bit choosy. Third trip of the day has just come in, and I'm picking them up in the Oval area and taking them to Camberwell, and it's an executive, which is always nice, particularly during the school holidays. Currently on Lordship Lane. It's 11 AM. And yeah, haven't managed to get anything since the last trip, so I decided to come down to Joe and the Juice, and I got a Prince of Green smoothie. It usually comes with cucumber, but I took out the cucumber and added apple, elderflower, kale and spinach. When you're working this job and you're sitting down on your backside all day, it's not very active. It's very important to stay as healthy as possible. One of my favorite ways of doing that is with green smoothies. Gonna crack on with this next one, which is taking me from Peckham to Rathbone Street, just off of Oxford Street, down towards the Tottenham Court Road end. Currently on Charlotte Street, just off of Goode Street, and been idle for about 20 minutes. So just wanting to keep busy by taking this next one, which is taking me to NW11. Paying about £15. It should take me about 25 minutes, which is not the worst. But if I go to this location and no jobs are coming through, which is very likely, that means I'm gonna have to drive all the way back into Central. Okay, so I managed to get an executive trip going back into Central London, I think Park Lane. The rate is not the greatest considering it's an executive, but it's going back into Central London, so that's all I really need at this point. I think I've been inactive for about close to an hour, so when this job come in, it was a no-brainer really. Heading to Wimbledon now, back into South London. Couldn't say no to going back to South London. Finally gonna hit £100 and then have about 4.5 hours left of the shift, just to see what happens. But it's not looking good, man. Not a good trip, man, but I don't know how things are gonna end today. Gonna stay out till about 8:30 and just hope that I can hit at least £200. So picked up another one. It's an Uber X from Wandsworth going to Queen Victoria Street, which is just over the Blackfriars Bridge. Again, not a good fare. But now I know what's going on with Ramadan and it being the school holidays and things like that. It's either I whine and complain and sit here and not take anything, or I just go home and call it a day. Either way, I'm not making any money. I'd rather make something. Don't get me wrong, I can sit around and wait for the perfect job and do that for 4 hours. But if I do that, personally, I reckon I make less than if I plug away for the next few hours and then hopefully things pick up a little bit later in Central London. On Queen Victoria Street, and the next job is taking me from the Blackfriars area, and we are going to Soho, and it's an executive. So I'm hoping now, this is what I was basically hoping for, and hopefully this is a consistent theme for the rest of the shift, where we should start getting some decent trips in to boost up the earnings a little bit. So yeah, man, hopefully, like I said earlier, slow and steady can win the race. It's not always about needing everything now, this second. You need to have patience in life. So unfortunately that rider cancelled, man. So that little speech I gave was for nothing. So just got a similar trip, not going to Soho, but this one is going to Near Park Lane. So yeah, didn't have to wait too long for that one, so happy with it. I think it's paying the exact same price, taking more or less the exact same time. So it looks like patience might have just paid off. Managed to get a good ride that's going from Piccadilly into Barnes, which is quite a stretch actually to get to Barnes, but whereas it's the school holidays, I'm banking on the traffic not being too bad. So if I can knock this job out in say about 40 to 45 minutes and then get some trips coming back into Central, I reckon we could have a very strong finish to the end of the day. Do you know what's crazy? Even though I was struggling in today's shift, part of me wanted to have a difficult vlog. Not that any of my other vlogs haven't been difficult, but one where I go home and I don't earn a lot, basically. But it just don't seem to be happening. I just seem to just be getting lucky. So yeah, it looks like I'm gonna hit £200 well before 8 o'clock. Still in Barnes, going to pick this one up, and this is a very nice executive job, gonna pay me £9, and it's gonna be like a 5-minute journey. Be a bit of a surge going on around this area that I'm at, and there don't seem to be a surge anywhere else. So I've just managed to get a decent Uber X trip. It's another short journey. It's gonna take me about 3 or 4 minutes to complete, and pay me about £7.50 because it's a surge. So I've decided to head towards home, or to head to get something to eat and then head towards home. So we'll see what comes in. I'm going to be open to some decent trips, but at the same time, I'm happy if we call it a day now. I'm not too mad at it. I was thinking about going home, and I think I'm just going to take this last trip. It's coming on Bolt. It's going to pay me £15 to go from Kings Road to Bayswater, near the Paddington area. So yeah, going to wrap up after this one, go home early, get a nice rest. Today made a gross income of £228.05. Was active for a total of 10 hours throughout the day, covering a total distance of 87 miles in total, with 55 or 56 of those miles, you might as well say, being on trips. Managed to make a total gross rate of £28 per hour.